Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and today we're going to upcycle this picture frame, and we're going to be using some products by our sponsor, GraphicStock. Here's just a really quick look at GraphicStock's website. You can print various types of images. You can print vector, there are illustrations, photos. There's just tons of things in here. I'm sure you'll be able to find many things that you can use. And don't forget to listen to the rest of the video because they are offering a very special deal for all of you guys who are watching the video today. So check them out. The link will be below. And I have printed this image off twice. I printed it first on just regular copy paper and then on some cardstock, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. But GraphicStock has over 300,000 royalty-free images that you can get. You don't have to worry about using them. You can use them on your YouTube channel, on your blog, wherever you want. You don't have to worry about any infringing on anybody's copyrights. And believe me, it was very hard for me to choose an image to work with. I didn't even touch the surface of how many images they have. And the best part is, just because you're watching this video, they're going to give you a 7-day free trial to their website. That means you can download 140 images totally free. So go on over and check them out. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. The link is below this video. Just click on it. It'll tell you exactly what to do. Okay, let's get started. First off, we're going to put out some, I think I'm going to paint this kind of a white, make it look a little bit distressed. So I'm just getting some white paint. And I don't care if some of the brown shows through because I want it to look kind of antique. And I may even go back with some black or something to put in there. So we're going to paint this complete frame, front and back. I have my white paint on there, and then what I'm going to do is I have this extreme glitter acrylic paint, and it's just in kind of an off-white, I think. That's the color of it. I'm going to take that and just go over this a little bit. I'm going to give it a little bit of glitter because we are making this for Christmas, so we want it to shine a little bit. Now, if you didn't have this color paint, you could put just regular glitter on here. Just paint you a little coat of some clear glue. Put your little glitter in it. Alright, now let's put some snow on here. Our picture is a little bit short, as you can see, of our frame. And I don't want just this white showing. I want to put something there. So we're going to add some snow to the bottom and to the top. And see how that works. Alright, I'm going to use another piece of just white cardstock. I have just torn the piece a little bit on the top and the bottom. And now I'm going to use some whipped spackle, and this is by Faber-Castell. You can use modeling paste, something like that. I'm just going to use this because I'm trying to use this bottle up before I start on another one. So I'm going to put out quite a bit here. And this is kind of thick. That's what I want. And then I am going to put a little bit of this glitter paint in it. Okay, I think I have that mixed well enough, and I have enough in there. Now what we're going to do is just get quite a bit on our palette knife. We're just going to layer it on here. Going to make it look like heaps of snow, and I'm going to turn my paper this way. We're going to lay that one aside and let that one dry. We'll do our other one. Now what we're going to do is go in on these images that we cut out and colored with the Wink of Stella, and we're going to use some glossy accents, and we're going to put a layer of this over here so that these will look more like glass and like they're domed up. This is a self-leveling agent, so just start in the middle of, this is a little bit uneven right now because it's still drying some, so just start in the middle and work your way out with a layer. Then when you get close to the edge, then just stop putting it on and then just start moving it out with the tip of the applicator. And this looks kind of smoky right now. When it dries, it will dry clear, so you'll be able to see everything that's under there. Okay, I'm pretty close to the edge and I have a good layer, so I'm just going to start. I'm not going to press anymore on it. I'm just going to use my little tip, and I'm just going to pull that out to the edge. Well, that'll take a little bit of time to dry, but it will be well worth it. So we will come back when these get dry and we'll show you how to put all of this together. So now it's time to start assembling, and I've cut a piece of chipboard that's got the white front, since this paper is so thin, and I cut it at 11 1/8 by 9 inches. And I am going to put this down on here, just centering it. And I'm going to use some of my art glitter glue because this doesn't make the paper buckle. If you use a liquid glue, make sure it's one that first off dries clear, and then it doesn't make your paper buckle up. I have my snow on. I did glue that down to the chipboard. I have my snow glued on, and I just used again my art glitter glue to glue that on there. And now I've just cut some foam board, and I'm going to go around the edges that are not going to show, and I'm going to just glue this down. And I'm using my hot glue just because I want, this is going to be uneven because of the snow and that kind of thing, and so I just want it to stick, and I'll be able to fill it in with the hot glue where it's a little bit uneven. So while we're waiting on our baubles, these little baubles to completely dry, I found some of this rhinestone trim in my stash, and it fits perfectly right in that groove of that frame, so I think I'm going to run that around through there. That's just going to dress it up just a little bit more. I am going to use hot glue again. I'm just going to run a light bead down through there, and hopefully make sure that I have it right sided up, and just lay that down in there. Get it a little bit too much like I did right there, I just take my little tool, I go in there and just roll that tool, and it'll pull that off. And then if I have any glue strings or anything like that, when I finish I'll just hit it with the heat tool. There we go, we've got that on there. Isn't that pretty? And let's see if you can see this. Yeah, you can see the sparkle in our frame. Just using that paint over, using this glitter paint over the regular paint. Okay, so we got that on there, and let's see, I don't think these are dry yet. It does take the glossy accents a little bit to dry. I should have done these last night and let them sit a while, but we will give these a little bit longer, and then everything should be ready to assemble. This is what it will kind of look like, other than we're going to do some decorating on in there. We can go ahead and put our little piece of, I'm not going to put the glass back in there. I'm going to put this acetate sheet in there, just because I don't want it to be that heavy, and I don't want to take a chance on me breaking the glass, which is probably what I would do. Now I'm going to put the acetate sheet right down in there, but I'm going to glue it down. I'm going to glue it down with some hot glue. All I did to cut this to size is I used the piece of glass, laid it on here, scribed it, and then cut it the size that it needs to be. Now I'm going to run this really fast, and hopefully it won't dry up before I can get it down there. I have my acetate sheet in there, and I did get a tiny bit of hot glue right here. So what I'm using is some undo. This will not hurt your pictures. It will not hurt acetate, plastic, anything. You can put this directly on your photos and it will not hurt it. It will not take the color out, anything. So I just use a little bit of that and wipe that off. And now I'm going to peel the backing off of this. See what we've got from here. There we go. That's pretty. Okay. So we'll probably have to wipe it off again right before we put everything together, but we're going to go ahead and put our foam tape on these pieces of foam board that we put down here. We're going to make sure that we don't have any gaps in them. We're going to run this foam tape right up to the edge. And this is the best deal for foam tape that you can get out there. This huge roll. It's a little bit expensive when you buy it the first time, but you'll use it forever and forever. So, I mean, I've had this one almost a year now, and I've still not used it up. Now we're going to peel this top off because we're going to put one more layer on here. This is, I believe this is an 1/8 inch thick, and we want it just a little bit thicker. And I think that's going to be thick enough. Let's look. I don't think we're going to have to go with a third layer. Oh yeah, that's going to be plenty. I think our little baubles, they're dry enough. They're not completely dry yet, but they're dry enough that I can put them down. But I'm going to put them up on pop dots. So I have put some pop dots down here. I'm not sure if I want to put them up on 1 or 2. I think 1 level would be good enough. I'm going to try to be careful and not stick my fingernail in them. I don't know, I think 2. I think I'm going to have to put 2 levels in here. That one's just not enough. Now let's see what that looks like. Because you see how these domed a little bit when they dried? So it made them look like they were circular. Oh yeah, that's going to work. So 2 layers. It's going to work. Okay, we'll pull the backing off of this. Hopefully I have enough pop dots. If not, I'll just use my tape. And I'm just going to lay that down to match up with the one behind it. And just gently press down so that it'll stick. And I won't mess it up maybe. There we go. Okay, let's try the big one in the middle. I'm just going to run some around the edges. And then one right in the center. And lay this one down there and gently press it down. Okay, so there we go. You see how cute those are? And how they're a little bit dimensional. So don't think that just because it's a photo that you can't do something special with it, because you can. Alright, now I had these little doodads in my stash, and I'm thinking I'm going to put some of these down like they're in the snow. And they're really button-like things, but I'm going to put them down. I'm not going to clip the back off. I'm just going to use it and kind of sink it up in that snow. And then I had some little snowflakes. And I know these are not going to show really, really well right yet, but they will when I get finished with them. I'm going to put them down. I'm going to use that little backing, that little button backing. I'm going to use it to my advantage and sit it down so it looks like the snowflakes are falling off or standing up on the page. Now all I'm doing is pulling glue strings off, and if you can see, I use my little tool. I told you I use the tool for everything. And I'm just running it across the top of my paper very lightly, and when I grab a glue string, I just start twisting it. I don't like to hit something like this with the heat tool, because there's some things on here that would probably melt again, and I don't want to do that. So see, look at that. Let's see if you can see that. It pulls those glue strings off of there. So we're going to rub just a little bit of our Wink of Stella on top of them. This is the clear. And that will make them stand out. There we go. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to take this tool, and this is a powder tool, and I am going to run it around the edges of this foam, because in order to put any sequins or anything in here, I'm going to have to fix it to where they won't stick to the edges of this tape, foam tape. And the only way I can do that is just to put a little bit of this powder in there. Okay, now I'm going to shake any excess off. And I think we're ready to put some sequins in, so that this will be a little bit more like a shaker card or a shaker frame or whatever. This will be some more snow. These are the iridescent sequins. And I am not going to shake this until these dry good. So until they're really dry, I'm not going to shake this at all. Because if I do, they're just going to stick to that. I think that will be enough. So now we're ready to take our tape off and then glue our frame on here. So we're going to take the backing off of our tape very, very easily, carefully, so that we don't disturb those sequins. And now we're going to sit our frame on here and hopefully get it right. Okay. There we go. There. that is it. It's not hard at all, not difficult, but a good way to upcycle all of those frames that you have sitting around like I do. I know you have those. And if you wanted to give this as a gift, I'm not going to turn this over right now, but all you need to do is put a pretty piece of paper on the back on that chipboard that is back there, and you could give this as a beautiful gift for someone. Isn't that pretty? I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I will take some photos when all of this dries so I can set it up. I'll take some photos and put them at the beginning of this video and also at the end. And we want to thank our sponsor, GraphicStock, for sponsoring this video and introducing us to some absolutely beautiful photographs, files, you name it. They have it on their site. Please don't forget to go to the link below and click on that and go ahead and sign up for your 7-day free membership so that you can download lots of these photos as I did. Like I said, this is from a photo. You don't have to have anything fancy to make this. This cost me absolutely nothing. I had the frame, I had this, I had everything in my stash, and then I just printed out their photo that they have. And remember, they're also royalty free. So go get your free subscription today, and we will talk to you guys later. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye bye.